Because the thing is, in that situation, if you respond to the company and say, yeah, I'm more than happy to do a whole YouTube video and this and that and all of this other stuff and all of these other requirements, and you don't say anything to them about rates or about anything like that, they will happily give you their products and let you promote. You will work very hard. You will take time, effort, and energy to create amazing content for them, and they won't say anything to you about money, ever.
That's exactly what I've seen a lot of. Like, if you're willing to, you know, not talk money, they're never going to be the one to talk about it. Never. Like, and I find the easiest point, like, I lean on my legal training for this. Like,
hey, you got that kind of backup, yeah.
I'm like, what's your budget? And and that's it. And I mean, the conversation, like, immediately, the first time whoever comes through the inbox, or through your email, the very first question after is, well, thank you for contacting me. What's your budget? And that's it. And so, you know, everybody knows what what's your budget means. That doesn't mean product. That means, like, I need to be paid for my time. And it's just really unfortunate because there are quite a few YouTubers who are up to the wise about how to, like, you know, represent themselves properly, sell, make money. Maybe they're on Fiverr, maybe they're selling merch. You know what I mean? Like, doing the damn. But then there's an entire cohort of people who are just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting free stuff, and then they just they prey on them, and it's like, my goodness, no. So, like, I really appreciate that you're breaking it down from, like, you know, just breaking it down from the start to the beginning on how to get a fair price for yourself, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, because you know it is as well. You know when they say, okay, this is a term that people use when they say know your worth and add tax. Okay, I have a little bit of an issue with that phrasing, but it's basically true. Have it for yourself when you've done a bit of research. If you find out from other people how much they're getting paid and you come up with a number, or even something as simple as, okay, when I was working in this particular role, I was getting paid this much per hour. Okay, how many hours does it take me to film? How many hours does it take me to get ready for filming?
Yeah.
How many hours does it take me to edit? How many hours does it take me to do the whole process? Yeah. Okay, however many hours it is, multiply that by however much you want to get paid per hour. You will come up with a number. That's the minimum amount that you will get paid. So you have a particular number in mind, like, okay, I will not go below this many dollars. Yeah. Or this many pounds.
Yeah.
And don't budge from that. The best thing to do in that situation, don't give them that number. Don't ever give them that number. You know what that number is, but they don't know. Now take that number, double it. Start from there.
You're not a lawyer? That's fantastic.
No, listen. Double it and start from there. Because you know it is, if they really genuinely want you to promote their product, they will be honest with you and say, okay, honestly, that's out of our budget, but we can pay this much. Honestly, you'd be surprised what you can get just by asking. Sometimes you can send a number and you're like, no, they're not going to pay me this. This is too much. And they're not going to give me this. You'd be surprised who would say yes. Sometimes, and you'd be sitting there thinking, you got that much budget going on? I had no idea. Like, you know, so you don't know, but I think it is more on a case-by-case basis. And you have to assess what you think is the best approach or strategy for you. Right. So as I said before, you might want to do something for free, but what you're getting out of it is you're getting the opportunity to produce some content that can prove to other brands, this is the standard of quality of work that I do.
Right.
And that will help you to earn money in the future. So you might decide like, okay, I want to do this particular one for free just because that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
There are some products that I get sent that, you know, I promote them for free just because I just want to. I just like the product.
It's like the product, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're kind of going to have to play a bit of hardball.
Yeah.
Because they will always negotiate you down as well.
Yeah.
They always will. So you have to be aware of these things. But this is the kind of thing that when I'm talking to other people who are influencers or aspiring to be aspiring YouTubers or, social media content creators, these are the kind of conversations that I like to have with people.
Yeah.
Where I say, okay, you just make sure when you talk to X company, they do pay. Don't let them just get you to promote for free. Don't do it. Just.
I think we've all been there. Like, I had something, I won't go into details of what company it was, but I talked about that company and I was really excited about it because it's generally a good product, right? And, it just doesn't sit right when you do all that work, you make fantastic content, and then you hear that, like, people are purchasing it and, like, they didn't ask you to do that work for you, but at the same time, like, they're benefiting from it. Like, they would not have gotten those sales had it have not been for you talking. Not saying that you're going to end their company without talking about them, but you are contributing to their success. And so that's the problem. I really appreciate where this conversation is going, for sure.
But I think also that's why sometimes it's not always about sponsorships, and this goes kind of a little bit more back into the streams of income thing. So one of the ways that I make money is through affiliate schemes.
Right.
So there are a few businesses that I've personally chosen to partner with. They have not directly paid me to promote their products.
Right.
But I am an affiliate of the brand. I get a specific discount code for their products, so my audience also gets a discount on their products.
Fantastic.
And then a percentage of the sales that's made also comes back to me. In that case, this is a kind of relationship that works well three ways. So the person who purchases gets what they want for a little bit cheaper because of a discount. The brand makes money. The brand gets promotion, and I also get some commission on sales.
Fantastic.
In that particular situation, it's not a sponsorship situation. They will send me products for free, but depending on how many sales are made, they may want to sponsor me in the future. But either way, I'm still getting compensated for the amount of effort that I've put in and for other people having bought from the company because of what I've said.
Right.
That's a kind of arrangement where you don't have to have money paid to you up front.
Right.
But if it's the kind of product that you personally enjoy and love, and your audience will also enjoy and love, then it's definitely worth it. And for some smaller businesses, they can't afford to sponsor you up front. But this is a great way for you to make some money, for your audience to get some discounts, and for the brand to get some more money as well. Literally everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
So sometimes it's not always about sponsorship. It all depends on the kind of arrangement and how it can work. I think for me, I think also that's one of the reasons why being a smaller YouTuber, but making sure that your content is consistent and stuff is a good thing if you can, because your analytics are some of the greatest tools that you have in order to get sponsorships and make money.
Yeah.
You may not think so, because I know for a lot of people, when they even hear the word analytics, they're like, oh, this sounds complicated. I don't, it's too much, okay? But your analytics are your friend. They are your friend. I have been in situations before where a brand has said to me, we're interested in maybe doing a sponsored video on your channel. Would you mind letting us know like how many views you have per month, or how many likes, what kind of engagement do you get per month? And I'm able to send them that information. You don't necessarily have to screenshot it or anything like that. Like, you don't have to necessarily give them all of that if you don't want to.
Right.
But if going back to an earlier question that you asked before about approaching brands, this is also a powerful way to approach a brand.
Right.
So if I were to approach a brand, if I wanted to contact them in order to see if we can work together, I will contact the brand and say, hello, my name is such and such. This is my channel. My subscribers are 92% female. This percentage from whichever country or whichever age. I give ages as well.
Right.
And say, if these are also your target audience of people that you're trying to promote to, maybe we can work together. It can be beneficial for the both of us. That's a great way to approach a brand, because at the end of the day, a brand is there to make money. So if they see that they're trying to target women 25 to 34, and the majority of women that watch your channel are 25 to 34, you have a match.
Yeah.
You're more likely to get some kind of whether it work or a closer relationship or a sponsorship out of that company, just by saying, people who watch me are the kind of people who want your product.
Yeah.
Are you interested?
I love that.
So,
you have such a wealth of information. And before we wrap up our conversation, I just wanted to know, what is your take on being a brand ambassador? So I know we kind of touched on affiliate marketing. We also kind of touched on, working with a brand and talking about whatever it is that they have. But what about being a brand ambassador and, this kind of idea that the brand is going to help you expand your brand, but the exchange is that you're now pushing whatever their company or their product is. And this happens a lot with like natural hair care companies, I find. What's your thought on that?
I think it's a good thing, but again, it's for you. You have to consider how much of a mutually beneficial situation is that going to be for you, and do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, makes sense.
There are some brands that have a very large following.
Yes.
And even if you do work with those particular brands, even if they don't necessarily pay you, which technically they should, because if they have such a large following and their stuff sells, then they should be. But either way, even just taking that out of the whole situation, let's not even think about that right now.
Yeah.
Just for the sense of how much reach they have, if you can see that they consistently push their brand ambassadors on their page and you are actually highly featured, if you want to increase your following and that's a target that you have, it may well be worth it for you to work with that company.
Yeah.
I have seen YouTubers who, in the grand scheme of things, may not appear to be very big YouTubers, but they have a good following. The brand just looks at their image and what they present and say, do you know what, we really like this person, we would love that person to be a brand ambassador for us. And their following went from here to like
because they got that plug,
just for the fact that they've been affiliated with this particular brand. So sometimes it is worth it, because even though it's not all about the numbers, having larger numbers still helps. It can help you to secure something in the future that you may not have been able to secure if your numbers were lower. So you have to consider to yourself, okay, is this something that I want to do? Does this brand's values or what they stand for align with me? Is it worth it?
Right.
Especially if mentioning no names, but if your audience are in the scene, they'll have an idea of who I may be referring to. For example, you have a hair care brand that sells at-home hair dyeing kits.
Right.
They ask you to be a brand ambassador. They invite you on a shoot. They ask you to dye your hair with their stuff. They call in, like, they have stylists and all of this kind of stuff. They have, a whole production. Now you have to consider for all of the promotion that you will get out of this, is it worth potentially sacrificing your hair health?
Yeah, like losing your hair over it? No, it's not. I don't think it is.
But for some people,
Yeah, for me, it's not. Yeah, I
for
hear you.
some people,
Yeah,
it may be worth it.
yeah,
Because, okay, you could consider it from a slightly different perspective.
right.
Okay. That person may look at it and be like, okay, I can create some popping content with this hair color in my hair.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's like a really vibrant color. Um, I have the opportunity, therefore, to make more interesting content for my audience. Um, more of my photos can go viral on Instagram because people just love the color and they love the style.
Right.
My following goes up.
Right.
I can use slightly different hair products on my hair, maybe stuff that's more suited to color treated hair. So that means I can get more people who have color treated hair watching my channel and subscribing.
Right.
This is also another addition to my reach.
Mm-hmm.
And if it all goes wrong and my hair starts thinning out or whatever, I can chop my hair shorter again.
Mm-hmm.
And that will relate to people whose hair care journey is at a different stage to mine. And
Right.
they can relate to me because I cut my hair as well as them. And I can kind of revamp and rebuild my channel almost, not from scratch, but I can kind of sort of start my hair journey again and draw in new subscribers. A person could literally sit here and like kind of go, okay, pros, cons.
Yeah.
And even if I have cons, can I take these cons and turn them into pros?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
For some people, it may completely be like, okay, this is not worth it. I'm not sacrificing my hair health for anything.
Mm-hmm.
For others, it may be like, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. I'm there. I'll do it. It just depends upon depends a lot upon your own personal goals and what it is that you want to achieve and what you want to do. Honestly, I would do it.
Yeah.
But part of the reason I would do it is because I have personally dyed my hair so many times. My hair doesn't have any color in it right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I dyed my hair a lot of times. I know what not to do.
Right.
I know what to do to maintain my hair health to a certain extent
Right.
when it's color treated. I know what protein treatments to use. I know how to switch up my routine.
Right.
And I keep up to date with my trims.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know all of that stuff, if this were a question like that I was approached in this way, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's go. Like really, especially if it's a brand that I know that, you know, they're really big.
Yeah.
But there are those situations in which people do that. They don't switch their products. They
Right.
don't know what to do to save their hair. And the hair just was like, okay. And they basically kind of ended up like, not big chopping, but they had to do a mini chop and just kind of go back.
Yeah, that's one.
But even in those situations, I still see like they come out with some new content after they cut their hair and their hair looks popping, and I'm like, okay, I mean,
It worked. It worked.
it kind of all worked out in the end.
Yep.
Maybe it was worth it. You have to make that assessment for yourself.
Absolutely. Mary, it's been a joy. It's been absolutely amazing. Before we totally wrap up, is there one last thing that you would share with the Curlfriend crew about, you know, anything really, anything? We've talked about so much. Whatever you please. Something that you think might help them on their quest for YouTube.
Thinking now. I would say, I think the main thing is being in social media, being an influencer, it's a big balancing act. You have to balance the kind of content that you want to create, as well as creating content that is engaging and interesting for your audience.
Yeah.
And it's important to keep that balance correct. So you can create content that's purely for yourself, that you know that you would love, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to appeal to a lot of other people. It could do, but it may not do. And that means that it won't necessarily, your channel may not make as much progress as you'd really love it to. At the same time, you also don't want to just jump on every single trend that happens to be on YouTube or, you know, Instagram, but YouTube in particular. You don't want to just jump on any trend that's trending just because, okay, everybody, as you were saying earlier on, everybody's talking about Will and Jada and August. So let me just jump on it, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with what I've done before.
Yeah.
So you have to balance that and find your path kind of through the middle of it. I think that if there is a formula to success, I guess that would be it.
Right.
Is finding that balance between yourself, what you love, what you're passionate about, and finding that a way to connect that with an audience that will be engaged and that will keep coming back and be interested in what it is that you have to offer. If you can do that, you'll be successful.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your energy. And I really appreciate you coming here. For those
You're welcome. I'm very happy to have been here.
Thank you. But for those who want to follow Mary further and you want to learn more about the Curly Closet, then definitely hit her up on YouTube. She's also on Instagram.
Yeah.
She's also
YouTube and Instagram are my main.
Yeah.
My main form, so yeah.
Thank you so much. Bye, Crow friends.
Okay, bye.